Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. When you take your boat out to sea, there are many things you must keep in mind. One is the fact that the ocean is filled with some of the world's most incredible and dangerous creatures, and the second being the reminder that you are in their territory and not the other way around. So, what happens when one of these sea creatures becomes unamused by your presence in its territory? Well, you're about to find out, and today, we're going to be showing you 10 sea monsters attacking a boat. Make sure to stick around and hear about a gang of killer whales targeting boats in Spain. Number 10. Stingray. When you go out into the water, you better be ready for some surprises. In 2008, a Florida man found himself in a critical condition after a 5-foot wide, 30-pound stingray, quote, jumped onto his boat and stabbed him in the chest, end quote. The assault left the old man with a foot-long barb in his chest, and his granddaughter was obliged to guide the vessel back to his home where they tried to get some medical help. The stingray's victim was conscious when help arrived, and he was in a pretty bad state. I mean, what would you expect from someone who literally got stabbed by a huge, supposedly peaceful creature of the sea? Number 9. Spotted eagle ray. This is yet another stingray attack, and you might be shocked to find out that it occurred in Florida as well. A female tourist got pinned to the deck of her sightseeing boat by a 300-pound stingray. The sea creature literally hurled right out of nowhere from beneath the water and launched itself into her vehicle as she cruised off the Florida Keys. The 40-year-old woman was knocked down by the spotted eagle ray, which literally torpedoed out of the water and slammed into the middle of her chest just after she took a photo of it. She took a photo? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's your advice. Don't start taking pics when you see a gigantic creature spinning out of the water. Anyway, after she stood right there to catch a photo of the eagle ray, the tourist was trapped and gasping for air under its 8-foot wide body for almost 5 minutes while her 3 young kids were terrified and screaming at the back of the boat. Number 8. Great white shark. These bad guys do not need an introduction. Say what you will, but sharks, especially great whites, remain some of the sea's most popular and formidable residents. In 2017, a fisherman luckily lived to tell the tale of how he ended up with a great white shark in the bottom of his boat. 73-year-old Terry Selwood was fishing offshore at Evans Head on the New South Wales north coast in Australia, when a massive great white shark launched itself into his boat. What is it with these sea creatures and jumping into people's boats? The man had no idea what hit him, or technically, what hit his boat. All he saw was the vague blur of something jumping into the boat before the shark's pectoral fin smacked him on the forearm and knocked him straight down. Did this thing learn martial arts or something? Anyway, while bleeding out and stunned from what happened, Selwood managed to reach for his radio and call the local marine rescue. The shark was still flapping and wriggling about on the tiny boat. Now that is one big unexpected passenger. Number 7. Giant squid. Yes, the Kraken has struck. This time, it was in 2003 off the Portuguese island of Madeira when French sailors taking part in the round-the-world Jules Verne trophy said they came across one of the most elusive monsters of the sea, the giant squid, or the Kraken, as I like to call it. Has a better ring to it. Several hours into their waterbound journey, one of the yachtsmen found that a giant squid had clamped onto the hull of his boat. The creature, scientifically known as Architeuthis dux, is the largest of all invertebrates and is extremely elusive. Scientists say that the species can be as long as 18 meters or 60 feet and weigh unimaginable amounts. Giant squids have been found washed ashore or caught in the nets of trawlers, but scientists have never seen one alive. These French sailors were lucky because this one giant squid was feeling particularly outdoorsy. It poked a tentacle thicker than a grown man's leg through a porthole and started pulling the boat really hard. 2 other tentacles were blocking the rudder and there was absolutely nothing they could do to chase it away. Eventually, they stopped the boat and the squid released its grip. Maybe it was annoyed with their movements, but that still didn't explain what the almost mythical creature was doing so close to the surface. Number 6. Needlefish. What do you say we head to the sea and get you a nice dandy puncture in the neck by a raging swordfish? Well, you probably wouldn't enjoy that too much and would say no. However, for this teenage boy who went fishing with his parents somewhere in Indonesia, did not have much of a say in that matter. The teenager, named as Muhammad Idol, was rushed to a hospital in southwest Sulawesi after a needlefish leaped out of the water and flew in their direction, impaling itself in the unsuspecting teen's neck, narrowly missing life-giving arteries and blood vessels. 5 doctors, including 3 surgeons and 2 anesthesiologists, helped to remove the needlefish snout from Muhammad's neck. They took about 2 hours and had to be careful so they wouldn't mess up the damage that was already done to the teenage boy's neck. Poor Muhammad came out fine, but honestly, his case was just a case of unbelievable, unlikely sheer luck. I'd ask him to take a look at my lottery tickets and see if that luck pans out again. Number 5. Jellyfish. In 2009, a trawler, the Diasan Shinsomaru, capsized off Shiba in Japan, as its 3-man crew was trying to haul in a net containing dozens of huge Nomura's jellyfish. Each of the jellyfish can weigh up to 200 kilograms, and waters around Japan had been inundated with the creatures that year. The crew of this fishing boat was thrown into the sea when the vessel capsized, but the 3 men were rescued by another trawler and made it to safety. Technically, this was not a direct attack on the fishermen, and more like nature fighting back at humans for simply doing too much. When will we learn? Number 4. Mako shark. What would you say if some strange, huge shark just came and took a huge bite out of your boat? You might think, you guys are eating boats now? Or might just be screaming in terror. Either way, your reaction would be based on shock, and that was exactly what these tourists had to face while traveling across the Indian Ocean in 2019. A Mako shark lashed out and bit through a vessel in the Indian Ocean as the tourist vessel got in the way of the endangered animal's prey. The boat was afloat in waters off the French overseas territory of Mayotte, north of Madagascar, and just off the coast of southeastern Africa. Those on board the vessel got more than they bargained for when, shortly after the vessel had left the lagoon, they came across a floating carcass. It turned out that the carcass they stumbled upon was a dead swordfish that had just been killed by a Mako shark, and the moment the shark saw the boat approaching, it felt the need to defend its prey. And what better way to defend its prey than bite the intruder? The shark opened its huge mouth and took a chunk of the boat, as one does, effectively passing its message across. "Leave my food or be my food," it said. I think. I'm not sure. My fluency in shark language has gotten a bit rusty over the years. Number 3. Walrus. We've heard about jellyfish weighing down boats, leaping stingrays, and boat-chomping sharks. Now, get ready for a boat-sinking walrus. In 2019, a walrus attacked and sunk a Russian Navy landing boat in the Arctic Ocean with no one getting hurt in the incident. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, the female animal was protecting its calves when it targeted the craft carrying researchers to the shore of Cape Geller in the Arctic. The animal was caught by surprise because, let's be honest, these guys aren't expecting any humans in the Arctic. We've invaded everywhere else, we might as well leave this bit to them. Anyway, the boat did sink, and members aboard were lucky to have made it out alive with all body parts intact. They steered their boat away from the defensive walrus and her calves and made it to shore safely. I don't know guys, next time maybe don't go snooping around another creature's territory. You can't get attacked if you stay in your lane now, can you?
Now it's time for today's best pick.
Today's best pick was sent in by a subscriber. If you come across a photo you'd like to know more about, then make sure to send it in to us. And who knows, you just might be lucky and get your photo featured. Number 2. Bull sharks. While a man was fishing for black-tip sharks from the beach, he had his drone in the air and managed to capture some cobia on a huge bull shark. He immediately called a friend and asked him to come help with catching the cobia. As they approached the cobia and the bull shark, the shark went absolutely berserk and attacked the boat 7 times, relentlessly. That'll teach you not to mess with a shark's food.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Killer whales. Coming in at number 1, we have a group of gangster killer whales. 2020 has seen its fair share of crazy and unexpected things. Don't even get me started. September 2020 came with gangster whales for Spain and Portugal. Researchers were befuddled by a group of killer whales that recently started attacking boats off the coast of Spain and Portugal. They would surround boats and ram and harass them for hours, nearly capsizing and damaging the boats. I don't want to be the one to say it, but seriously, Feels like the Earth's trying to push us out. We've come to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more amazing content from 100M.